Well, hello everyone. My name is Tammi Wallace. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am a co founder and the president and CEO of the Greater Houston LGBT Chamber of Commerce. I hope you are tuning in today, and we're going to, I'm sure, get some more viewers joining us because we have some great news to share today. I have some incredible special guests that you can see on screen from the Montrose Center, one of our inaugural chamber members, I might add. They are here to talk to us about the 2021 holiday food drive. The food drive was held on December the 10th, and it was hugely successful. And the purpose of the food drive was to raise needed food and funds for LGBTQ plus seniors in need. This is the second year that we've done this, and we are so thrilled to support the Montrose Center. It's a terrific collaboration, and you're going to hear more from the Montrose Center team about the impact of the food drive and exactly what this has meant for our seniors, really, and beyond. But before I introduce our special guest, I want to say thank you to our amazing Chamber Holiday Food Drive sponsors, including our title sponsor, Arca Continental, Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages, and our many community and media partners. We absolutely could not have done it without you and had such a successful food drive. Over 44 sponsors, community partners, and media partners coming together. This is truly what community looks like. And speaking of community and amazing, we have some special guests, as I mentioned, joining us today from the Montrose Center. We so appreciate all the work that they do for our community, and I want to introduce them. We have Kennedy Lofton, who's the Chief Development Officer, Atlantis Narcisse, Community Project Specialist, Volunteers, Armando Ortiz, Development Specialist, Nova Jones, who's the Community Center Specialist. Welcome to the fabulous Montrose Center team. I'm so glad to have you all here to share more about the holiday food drive. Welcome, everyone.
Thank you, Tammi, for having us.
It's great to be here.
So glad, and this is everybody's first time on StreamYard, and this is our first live stream through the chamber that we're hosting. So we're all learning a lot about StreamYard, but we're having fun. And today's just again about this conversation about the food drive and the impact. And Kennedy, I want to start with you, if we could talk to us about the overall impact of the food drive, and what has it meant for LGBTQ plus seniors, and really I think beyond.
So hopefully y'all know that this last year we opened the nation's largest LGBTQ affirming senior housing center. And that was a really journey for our organization. And what we discovered is a lot of people in our community are not aware of the needs that seniors have, specifically LGBTQ seniors, because seniors were closeted and stayed in their families for so long. And this generation of seniors that built all this for us made a lot of sacrifices. And a lot of those sacrifices were when they came out, they lost their jobs and faced lots of different types of discrimination that made it difficult for them to build wealth. And that is one of the reasons why our seniors are so vulnerable. Twice as likely to be aging alone, 4 times less likely to have the resources they need for retirement and end of life. And that's resources like food. So moving all of these seniors into a beautiful new building, we started, and giving them gorgeous new kitchens, we started realizing our food needs were already increasing because of the pandemic. We're already high because 27% of our community, not just seniors, but all of our community before the pandemic, are food insecure. And so we knew we were going to be building a new pantry in there. We knew we were going to have 140 new seniors to bring food to, as well as bring as many other of our elders into the services as possible. So how do we get that done? Fortunately, what came along right at the same time with the pandemic and this was the largest food drive we've ever had, and it still remains the largest. I think the only one that could beat y'all is y'all beating yourself year to year. And what that's allowed us to do is just really expand our capacity, expand the number of pantries, provide different types of food to community members much longer than just the holiday season, which we've always focused on. And we're incredibly grateful for that. That support has allowed us to do just really, really, really big things for our elders and beyond. Tammi talked about that. We don't just stop there. Our trans community, all of our clients and services from our domestic violence program, our homeless youth and the apartments we place them in, this shelf-stable food is going out to the most vulnerable members of our community.
Kennedy, this is one of what touched my heart so much when you all were talking about doing the senior center and understanding this need. And so it just seemed like, when we first reached out in 2020 about doing the food drive and saying, if we don't step up for our seniors, our LGBTQ plus seniors, who will? So it's been, we love this collaboration, and to know that we've been able to fill a need in terms of an additional pantry with the senior center, but to help clients across the board. I mean, that's huge. And again, this is truly what community coming together looks like. Talk to me about, speaking of our LGBTQ plus seniors, Tom. So touched my heart. He was with us during the day of the food drive. At one point, I saw tears welling up when he saw the food coming in. Talk to us about Tom, what he does, and kind of share his experience at the food drive.
Well, what I love overall about having Law Harrington is that it is not a place where our seniors are going to stop. By taking away some of the issues they have around food insecurity and cost of living, they are focusing on the things they love to do, which can be art, volunteerism, creating organizations, and we have a lot of activity there. So all of our programming right now, especially because we can't bring a lot of volunteers during the pandemic, are all run by our residents. So Tom is a resident, and Tom has been a longtime volunteer. He has driven other seniors, other LGBTQ seniors, to our diner for years, and has just kind of helped us build this Spry program from the inside. And he, like so many, just can't believe, one, that they have this senior center, and that all of these corporations that they knew they used to not be able to work at are now showing up as sponsors to do these things. And so it can be a very emotional process for these residents to see people that they saw, or maybe they even faced discrimination from a long time ago, now being a part of the solution and showing up and supporting them. And I mean, it can be a little emotional for me as well to see this change and to see the DEI movement and the understanding of these individuals and the intersections of age and sexuality and race, and having a coalition come together to help take care of those needs.
Well, he completely touched my heart. Not only, I mean, at one point when the Coca-Cola donations were coming through in the Silver Eagle, he was just giddy, saying, "We're going to be able to do this. We're going to be able to do this." And it was just, to see that in real time, knowing how he's working day to day, helping with the pantry, was incredibly powerful. We were so glad Tom was able to join us, and appreciate all he does for us. So Atlantis, talk to me about. I mean, you had this huge task of coordinating tons of volunteers. Of course, this is your specialty, and you do it so well. But coordinating tons of volunteers and really all of the food donated. Talk to us more about that process, what it looked like. I had the opportunity to visit with you the Saturday after the food drive, walking through the room, seeing all the food. But that must have been, let's just say you deserve Volunteer of the Year award. I'm going to say that. Talk to us about that.
Well, thank you, Tammy. As you see, we have a great pool of volunteers, i.e. Tom is a perfect example. This, as you said, it was a ton of volunteers in a big event. It's the easiest event to sell because people like to come out, especially after being under the umbrella of COVID and not having many volunteer opportunities. This was a great way for people to come in and socialize and network and be impactful. What I loved about the drive is that it hit so many series of our volunteerism. They got to see the food come in. They got to put the food in the boxes on Saturday, and then later that week they got to distribute the boxes to our clientele. So there's like, from our volunteers, listen to them speak and seeing the food come in on Friday morning and on Friday afternoon. They were like, "Oh my God, this is such a great thing. I will be back next year." I was like, "We need you next year." So it's never a hard sell. I think it is a perfect example of what volunteerism looks like and what community is, common unity. And we got to see that this past December.
Atlantis, that's such a good point, because just seeing all the volunteers that showed up from our corporate partners, our sponsors, to help us, the day of the food drive and then the day after. And as you said, the Montrose Center always needs volunteers this year and the year after and the year after, because as we know, and Kennedy talked about that, the need is so great in our community, and it continues, unfortunately, it continues to grow. So I want to encourage everybody to, if you're looking for a volunteer opportunity, reach out to Atlantis or reach out to the chamber. We can get you connected, because it is a great organization to volunteer with. And it's not just, of course, the food pantries. There are a lot of things going on throughout the year. So Nova, you were on the ground during the food drive, and I recall you're one of the newest team members for the Montrose Center. So tell us, you saw these donations coming in, and really what I framed as this generosity of donors throughout the day. And we even were getting calls, can we donate before the food drive? And you all got donations after the food drive. What does this mean for the Montrose Center? What was your experience? What have you seen in terms of, the way this has supported the seniors, et cetera?
Well, I think one of the things that's important, and what you all have emphasized, is just what this means for community, what this means for a sense of solidarity. And when we think about the insecurities that our community experienced specifically, just because of the historical discrimination we face, one of the ways to get over that barrier is by creating more accessible material goods, and also creating spaces where people feel as if they're safe enough to go actually get those goods. Because that's the greatest barriers. If our people do not feel safe, if our community do not feel safe, going to other pantries, going to other drives, going to any other outreach based on who they are, what their gender and sexuality is, then more than likely they're not going to make that compromise, and they're going to continue to be food insecure. So when we show up like this, when it's our people who are representing and showing up and bringing in the goods, that means that it is a space where people can come in and actually get those needs met, and they don't have to be food insecure. They don't have to go without for weeks at a time. And I think that's something that's very, very important.
No, but that's another great point, and one reason why we wanted to do the food drive, because we all see, especially during the holidays, tons of food drives that go on throughout Houston and throughout the community. But when we talked about this in 2020, we said, does our community feel safe stepping into that space? And that goes for a variety of, programming, et cetera. It's not that the opportunities aren't there, but we have to give a place and a space for our community to feel welcome, especially when they have a need. And you all at the Montrose Center have opened doors and said, we welcome you. This is what you do every day to support our community. And I think that it speaks volumes. And we're glad from the chamber that we could help you all fulfill that mission to make sure that our community and those that are in need have access to the resources that are needed. Armando, what kind of feedback have you received, about the food drive? What have you heard, whether it's talking to volunteers or seniors? Just what have you heard about the impact?
Yeah, well, our volunteers, first of all, were very excited to participate and to be able to help with the unloading and accounting and everything. So it was a tremendous task, like counting all of those things. But at the same time, it was very fulfilling because we were able to see how much of a big impact we've had. And so, first of all, like when people arrive to the center, they're always very excited to see, like, oh, wow, look at all this stuff that we have going on. And distribution of food certainly brings a smile to the people's faces to those who we serve. So people are definitely very, very grateful for the things that they receive, and as well as the opportunity to come here. But volunteers as well, they're very, very awesome, and just very, very grateful to be able to count and to look into all of these things that we do here at the Montrose Center. And well, because of y'all's generosity, we were able to get about around $8,000 worth of goods, from the LGBT Chamber of Commerce food drive. And so it's really, really super amazing to be able to have that and to be able to help people and distribute this food. So overall, the feedback from the community has been wonderful. And we're going to be opening sign-in slots for people to sign up for distribution for food and everything. And so this will definitely help them out in the long run. So thank you again.
I love hearing that, and I love hearing you quantify that number, that impact there, Armando. Kennedy, talk to us a little bit more about the stats from this year's holiday food drive, what this has meant in terms of meals, et cetera, but really the past 2 years, kind of what comes top of mind to you with us doing this over the past 2 years in this collaboration.
this collaboration has really created some transformational change at the Montrose Center. One of the biggest barriers here is like, where do we get the money or the stuff to get things done? And that is usually what stops our forward motion. But in this case, y'all, and by the way, I need to back up, since we got about $8,000 in goods this year. Last year, that was $6,300 in goods. And so that is a significant growth as this drive also increases. And so what this meant for us last year, I really think about the winter storm Uri, when all of the roads were frozen. Not all of our seniors. We had about 30, 40 seniors in the new complex at that point. And we were able to stand up an entire pantry over there. We didn't actually have the current pantry that we now have operational, but we were able to bring water and shelf-stable food. And this was really important because if you remember the winter storm, nobody was ready. It wasn't like a hurricane where everyone's like, hurricane season, get your box, get your food. So our residents just had their normal food delivery scheduled, and all of those got canceled. And so being the roads were still frozen. Our team was over there. We moved food over we had a little bit over there, but we moved a lot more food and supplies over there. And we were able to just let all of those residents shop. And they were really scared because none of us had really seen things like this. Luckily, we had power at the facility, but we didn't really have water at that point because of some frozen pipes. And that's like one example. That's 1 week of what this does. And of course, our pantries become so much more vital in response to disasters. But this is growing what we do. So we used to do food boxes during the holiday season. And last year, because of the chamber drive, we did food boxes all year long. And we used to really only be able to serve the approximate 5,000 to 6,000 clients we have in core services. And now because of the chamber drive, we've been able to open that up more to the community. So you don't have to be, in therapy or case management or coming to services for the Montrose Center to access these basic needs items. And this year, because of the success of this drive, we're going to be launching something called the Montrose Market. You're hearing it first, but it's going to be an opportunity where it's scheduled and people know, and it decreases some of the barriers of having to sign up and do this in advance. We're going to be able to communicate over time, as long as we have items, that, hey, you can come and connect with us at this time, come to the market, we'll have volunteers, and you can shop for free these items and take them home.
Oh, that is incredible. The Montrose Market. I love it.
That's Nova's creation. I love it too.
Yes, that's great. Way to go, Nova. I love it. And so, Kennedy, I know, I think harkening back, it's been, we've had a holiday in between. I think like 3,750. Yeah.
That's the data. 250 food boxes going out to families. That's 3,750 meals already. And we got a lot of food left over. And that's hence the Montrose Market and the other things I was talking about. So big increase for us going to 250 food boxes and getting those out around the volunteer community. About 50 of those went specifically out to the trans community. A chunk of that, the majority went over to Law Harrington, and then we distributed the rest through all of our different vital programs, from domestic violence to homeless youth, etc. Sorry, I skipped that part.
No. I mean, that's great. And truly what impact looks like. Hearing those numbers, and then I love that this has been able to help a variety of Montrose Center clients. And, we wanted to help beyond those holiday boxes like we did last year. We didn't intend on that last year, but it happened. And to help fill up those pantries, as far as I'm concerned, you all shouldn't be looking to fill up the pantries during the year. We should be able to come together as a community and help you do that during the holidays. So you're set and you have what you need, so you can actually focus on your clients and their other needs. So I'm thrilled to hear those impact numbers. And, for the chamber, this is really about us looking beyond our four walls and supporting the community, and especially those that need us the most. And that's in 2020, when we said, look, we can't do a holiday celebration. Everything was shut down. What can we do? And I told our board, that's the key. We can do. And that's what we did in 2020. And of course, again, in 2021. So we love this collaboration. And I'm really, really excited to share, because we had not only through, all the food that came in, and you all have spoken about that, but through the virtual food drive, on top of all the food donated, you will be getting a check. And this must be the magic number. We will be sending a check to the Montrose Center for $8,000.
Wow, that's amazing. That's so huge. I have to tell you, Tammi, when we first started the pantry, we only had a budget of $5,000. Okay. And that was to get us through the entire year. Now we are doing, in the face of the pandemic, I think we've quadrupled that. And so that what you're doing is really helping us take a huge part of the budget of the food that we do have to buy throughout the year, because it can't just all be done in drives. Or at least we're not there yet. I don't want to say we can't. We can do, but we're not there yet. And so that is really going to sustain us during those time periods where we don't have a lot of food coming in and we have to go out and purchase.
Well, and the dollars make as much of a difference, right? As you're saying, I think, Kennedy, as somebody literally dropping off food at the food drive. So, and I mean, this is, again, community stepping up to help. This is about collaboration. And I love that we do this in Houston, this collaboration, and we're just thrilled to be able to support. And I'm excited to deliver that check. But also one kind of last impact stat. Speaking of making sure you all are set for the rest of the year, is the generosity of our amazing friends at our corporate partner, Coca-Cola Southwest Beverages. They are going to fill up and give you refills on everything, I think 3 more times this year. When you run dry, they've just said all you need to do is let them know, which I think is remarkable. When I talked to Suzanne Brady-Lusk over there and asked her if they would participate, she said, "You bet we'll participate." And she said, "I'm going to go even more. We'll drop off at the food drive because I'm going to assume they can't handle everything we can donate. So you just let the Montrose Center know when they start to run low, we will deliver and restock them 3 times in 2022. That is truly, business and community coming together. So I love that, and we appreciate their amazing support. Well, any other parting words any of you want to add before I close this out this morning?
I personally want to offer just my appreciation and gratitude for the chamber, because it's my responsibility, my direct job to actually manage the pantries. And like Kennedy presented earlier, we're restructuring the way that we handle that outreach to where it's more accessible. And what you all have done has increased our capacity continuously and has brought us to a place to where we feel like we can increase what we're doing with this outreach. So I personally feel very appreciative for what you all have done.
Oh, thank you, Nova. Anybody else? Atlantis?
I do mirror exactly what Nova said, but I don't think thank you is enough. All I can say is, like, from our energies, from our essence and our being, from our clients, from our community, from our staff, thank you so wholeheartedly for just being present and supporting us in our mission.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Armando, Kennedy, any other parting words you want to share?
Oh, I can't top what they did. So, yeah, we're going to end on what they said. Okay.
I know I got tears in my eyes here. So.
Yeah. Because of your support, we can direct more energy towards other services as well, and expanding our capability to provide resources to other community members. So again, thank you once more. And again, thank you again for the check too.
I hope that's a nice surprise, and that is truly because of the generosity of donors and sponsors, and again, community stepping up, just remarkable. And I want to say to the 4 of you, and on behalf of our board and our members, we appreciate all you all do for our community. You all, I know you're not going to get rich with the jobs you do. You do this because it's what I always call a mission match. It's love of community. It's giving back. And we could not be more appreciative for everything that you all do, both individually. And we're so proud to call the center one of our inaugural members. And I think we're going to do even more great things together as we move forward. But you work tirelessly on behalf of our community. So thank you. Thank you very much. And last but not least, again, as I close us out this morning, I want to say thank you to our amazing sponsors and our community and media partners who helped us make a difference for our LGBTQ plus seniors and beyond this holiday season. As we close, we're sharing, you can see on screen, the list of the 44 companies and organizations that stepped up this holiday season. We're grateful to each and every one of them. And here is, for the Montrose Center and really all the work we're doing at the Chamber, here's to more great work together in the years ahead. Thank you all. Appreciate you very much. Thank you.